Have you ever stopped to think that some small foods can have a gigantic impact on your health? That's right. Today we're going to talk about 3 types of nuts that are true allies in controlling blood sugar. If you live with diabetes, whether type 1 or type 2, or simply want to keep your blood sugar under control, this video is for you. These nuts are little known, but have incredible properties. They help stabilize glucose levels, offer good fats for the heart, and can still add a delicious touch to your daily diet. Stay with me until the end, because besides understanding why these nuts are so special, you will discover practical tips on how to include them in your routine in a tasty and smart way. Ready to boost your diet with healthy and smart choices? Then let's go to the video. 1. The pine nuts. The pine nut is a typical seed from the southern regions of Brazil, especially popular during the June festivals. But what few people know is that it can be a great ally in controlling blood sugar, especially for those who have diabetes. Although it is better known for its striking flavor, the pine nut hides a true arsenal of nutritional benefits. To begin with, the pine nut is an excellent source of complex carbohydrates, which means its digestion is slower and therefore releases glucose into the blood gradually. This is fundamental to avoid the blood sugar spikes that are so harmful to those living with diabetes. In addition, it contains dietary fibers, which help to further slow down the absorption of sugars in the intestine. Another interesting point about the pine nut is that it contains unsaturated fats, which are beneficial for the heart and help reduce bad cholesterol levels. These fats also contribute to satiety, which helps in appetite control and, consequently, in maintaining a healthy weight, something essential for managing type 2 diabetes. From a vitamin standpoint, the pine nut is rich in vitamin E, an antioxidant that helps fight free radicals and protect the cells of the pancreas, which are responsible for insulin production. It also has significant amounts of minerals such as zinc, phosphorus, magnesium, and iron, all important for metabolism and overall health. And how to include the pine nut in your daily life. The most common way is boiled, as traditionally consumed during the June festivals, but it can also be used in sweet and savory recipes. You can make purees, use it in salads, or even as a quick snack. An interesting tip is to combine it with leafy greens or sautéed vegetables for a fiber-rich meal with a low glycemic index. Another curiosity is that the pine nut contains an amino acid called arginine, which helps in the dilation of blood vessels, promoting better circulation. This is especially relevant for diabetics, since poor circulation is one of the most common complications of the disease. So if you are looking for a tasty and nutritious way to keep your blood sugar under control, it is worth giving pine nuts a chance. Besides being healthy, they bring that sense of tradition and comfort that only typical foods can offer. With balance and creativity, pine nuts can become a valuable ingredient in your diet, and more than that, a daily partner in your diabetes care. 2. The tiger nuts. The tiger nut, or chufa, may seem new to many people, but it has been consumed for centuries in countries like Spain and regions of Africa. It is a small tuber with a nut-like appearance, a slightly sweet flavor, and a surprising nutritional value, especially for those living with diabetes. What makes the tiger nut an excellent option for diabetics is its high content of soluble fibers, which are capable of forming a kind of gel in the stomach, slowing down digestion and glucose absorption. This means that when consumed, blood sugar levels rise more slowly, helping to avoid the feared glycemic spikes. In addition, the tiger nut has an extremely low glycemic index, which is ideal for keeping blood sugar stable throughout the day. It is also rich in resistant starch, a special type of carbohydrate that feeds the good bacteria in the gut and improves insulin sensitivity. In other words, it not only helps in the immediate control of blood sugar, but also contributes to a more efficient regulation of insulin in the long term. From a nutritional standpoint, the chufa is a good source of vitamin C, vitamin E, and minerals such as phosphorus, potassium, and magnesium. These compounds are essential for cardiovascular health, help control blood pressure, and strengthen the immune system, all the more important for those with diabetes. Another highlight is the presence of monounsaturated fats, similar to those found in olive oil. These fats help lower bad cholesterol levels and increase good cholesterol, protecting the heart, which is one of the most vulnerable areas in people with diabetes. And how to include tiger nuts in your diet. One of the most traditional ways is through horchata de chufa, a nutritious and naturally sweetened plant-based drink. But it is important to be careful with the industrialized version. Some contain added sugar. The tip is to prepare the drink at home by blending soaked chufas with water and straining. You can also consume whole tiger nuts as a snack, use them in granolas, or grind them to make gluten-free flours and doughs. Oh, and there is one more interesting benefit. Because it is naturally sweet, chufa can help satisfy sweet cravings without raising blood sugar, a huge advantage for those who have restrictions with sugar. The tiger nut also has anti-inflammatory properties, thanks to the antioxidants present in its composition. This is fundamental, as diabetes is directly linked to chronic inflammatory processes. Incorporating foods that fight inflammation can make all the difference in long-term quality of life. 3. The baru nuts. Originating from the Brazilian Cerrado, the baru nut has been gaining attention in discussions about healthy eating, and rightly so. Rich in nutrients and with a flavor reminiscent of peanuts, it has stood out as an excellent option for those seeking to control diabetes naturally and tastily. The first point that draws attention to the baru nut is its high content of dietary fibers. As we have seen, fibers are fundamental for those with diabetes, as they slow down digestion and the absorption of carbohydrates, which prevents blood sugar spikes. The baru nut offers both soluble and insoluble fibers, which contribute not only to glycemic control, but also to intestinal health and the feeling of satiety. It is rich in mono and polyunsaturated fats, which have a protective effect on the heart and help improve insulin sensitivity. The nut is an excellent source of plant-based proteins, making it a great complement for diets aiming to reduce meat consumption or balance protein intake. Proteins also help prolong the feeling of satiety and prevent sharp variations in blood sugar. In terms of vitamins and minerals, the baru nut impresses. It is rich in zinc, iron, calcium, magnesium, and potassium, all important for metabolic functions, blood pressure regulation, bone strengthening, and, of course, the proper functioning of the immune system. These nutrients are especially valuable for those living with diabetes, as the body tends to experience greater wear and tear and sensitivity to nutritional deficiencies. The baru nut also contains antioxidant compounds, such as tocopherols and phenolic acids, which combat free radicals and reduce inflammatory processes in the body. This is extremely positive, since diabetes is frequently associated with low-grade chronic inflammations. And how to use this wonder from the Cerrado in practice. The most common way is to consume the nut roasted as a snack between meals. It can replace peanuts in a more nutritious and tasty way. It can also be used in farofas, granolas, cereal bars, or as a crunchy topping for salads and hot dishes. A special tip is baru butter. It is a healthy and delicious alternative to accompany fruits, whole grain breads, or to be used in low glycemic sweet preparations. It maintains the seed's nutrients and still brings an irresistible creaminess. The good news is that, because it is rich in fibers and good fats, small portions are already enough to generate satiety and provide important health benefits. For all these reasons, the baru nut deserves a prominent place in the diet of those living with diabetes. It combines flavor, nutrition, and positive social impact, a powerful combination for those seeking health with responsibility. Now that you know the benefits and how to include these seeds in your daily life, how about sharing with us in the comments? Tell us which one you already knew, which one you are eager to try, and if you have any special recipe using these nuts. Oh, and do not forget to leave your like if this video helped you in any way. It really strengthens the channel and motivates us to keep producing content that makes a difference. Also, take the opportunity to subscribe and activate the bell so you do not miss the next videos filled with healthy and practical tips for those living with diabetes. See you in the next video. Until then, wishing you great health.